Hey, what's up guys? Thetcglover here, coming up with you today with a deck profile of my current Redox gadgets. Basically, I want to get your help as a viewer of my channel and probably as a subscriber of my channel. If you haven't subscribed and you're just watching this because you just came across it, then definitely do subscribe because I make good videos. Anyway, yeah, so I need help basically from you and anyone that you know who could just help me out. Basically, I want to optimize my deck for the next format. Now, this is a next format deck that will be obviously in effect September the 1st. This is provided that the OCG ban list is the same as the TCG because it's been the same. They've been the same ban list for the last, like, I don't know, 3 years or something. So I really doubt that the TCG is going to get a different kind of ban list. Whether it will be different or not will probably not affect this deck at all. So I want to get your insight and help and really justify your reasons for what I could do to actually improve the deck and so on like that. But I think right now the way that I've done it, I think it could be quite good. But I'm still worried about if it's going to be good against certain matchups and certain things like that. I'm going to justify my reasons for why I play certain cards and ratios and stuff like that. But I hope it will make sense to you. So anyway, Redox gadgets. I've played them before. I've played them for a while now, and they really are really good. Really good contender for this format, provided that you play smart rather than you just play crazy, because you're going to be playing against a lot of back row as opposed to last format. So knowing when to go ham and knowing when to stay back and just keep your resources, stuff like that, important. So anyway, we're going to play three green gadgets, 3 red gadgets, and 3 yellow gadgets. It's kind of standard for a deck like this. You can play 6 gadgets, but I feel like you just don't open up with them enough. And when you play 9 gadgets, it allows you to go 42 cards, which allows you to make your siding a lot easier. Allows you to play cards that are only like really good against certain decks and stuff like that. If you have 42 cards, you open up with one of these, and you don't run out of steam too quick. Allows you to do avarice and stuff like that, and really good. It means that you get more consistent plays. 3 goldfish and 3 Thetcglover. Now these are only at 3 each because the gadgets are at 3. If you were to run 6 gadgets, you would have to cut these down to 2 each so that you get one of these per 3 gadgets. Really good. Thetcglover putting in more work than goldfish generally because of the chain summoning shenanigans. But however, 10 goldfish has that lovely ability that it's a water, so that when you go into Abyss Dweller, because you are going to be going into it this format against mermaids because they're going to be a force, 10 goldfish makes Abyss Dweller 2200, so when they activate their effect, you detach the gadget that it's with, and then that means that you have a 2200 Abyss Dweller that they can't get over with Dragoons or anything like that, so they're going to neg themselves trying to get over it. Really good. Love the whole combo. It's just fantastic. And we're going to max out on hand traps because the reason is because I feel like Effect Veiler is good against Boojins and they're good against Fire Fist and Constellars in some sense. Maxi is amazing against anything that goes heavy, basically Chaos Dragons, Mermaids, Agents, Dark World in some sense is alright, but basically I just feel like if you run 3 of each, that means that when you side out, you can, let's say you're playing Boojins and Maxi is really ineffective, it gives you 3 spaces in your main deck. You can just quickly chuck those out and go into your side deck, pick up 3 cards which might work for you, and you don't have to worry too much. So running 3 of each means that you have more flexibility when you side, because it's more diverse this format, so you really need to think about that when building your main deck, so you think which cards can come out easier. I run 2 Fortress and Gear Frame. Now people are going to say, why don't you run 3 Fortress? And why don't you run more than 1 Gear Frame? Well, Gear Frame is searchable by Gear Gargant X, and also Fortresses are at 2. It means that you do draw it even without needing Gear Frame. It does mean that you have it when you need it, but it also, I mean, a lot of the time I've noticed that I do need it, but I don't have it, and I haven't got a way to get it effectively without negging myself too much. But Fortress in general is pretty good. I like how 2500 is now a good number to be at this format because of Megalo. Abyss Teos' defense is not high enough to get to survive against this. Boojins have to basically lance and everything. Yeah, it's really good. The targeting effect goes off quite a lot, so it's good to have that in there. You can basically ditch your when you draw more than 2 gadgets in your opening hand, you can definitely use them as fodder for Fortress. And now 2 Redox. Obviously you need to have Redox in the deck now. It's pretty much standard to be running that. Now for this format, I'm going to run 2 Gauze. I don't run traps. The only one I run is Ultimate Offering, but if you can resolve Ultimate Offering, generally you're going to win. You can do so much of Ultimate Offering, so having Gauds in your hand dead is not really a big deal. They're really going to MST your offering quite often, but if you can pull it off, it's basically GG. 2 Gauds means that you can play passive and drop this and it becomes a force. Obviously, Konami knows that there's so much destruction in the game now that Gauds won't survive on the field for very long. But it does allow you to do a lot of cool things. You know, basically it puts you back in the game when your hand is not very good. You can draw it off Maxi, and it just comes on the field and you have this whole hand of stuff to do. And obviously it's level 7, so you can go into rank 7s pretty easily. For traps or spells, whatever, I run a Forbidden Lance, and it's a Forbidden Dress here, but once I have a second Forbidden Lance, I thought I had loads of them, but I don't. But once I have 2 of the same, I'll be running 2 Forbidden Lance because of the attack, because gadgets can get over anything when it's you know, if you can reduce their attack by 800. And Forbidden Dress, I guess, is a decent substitute, but doesn't really get rid of stuff like Compulsory, which is still being played this format. But I feel like if you're going to be playing against heavy back row, and you want to summon your Xyz monsters, then having these is basically the best way to basically go off, and they think, oh yeah, we can just bottomless you and blah blah blah. And Lance means that you survive, so you can just you know, keep your pluses. Now we're going to have 2 Chain Summoning, and this was at 3. But I felt like I got it too much in my hand, and you need to be able to have a way to resolve it. There are so many ways to get this off. Basically, you do your Gadget, activate Thetcglover, activate this as Chain Link 3. You can also go Gadget, activate MST on their back row, then you chain this. You can go Gadget, activate Maxi, and then you do this so that if they gauge you in the battle phase, you remember, oh yeah, I've activated Maxi earlier, so I can draw some cards. So this card has a lot of ways to go off. You can get to Chain Link 3 very, very easily. You can even activate Ultimate Offering, which is fantastic on, you know, after you've activated a Gadget's effect. And 2 double summons. This is for when you don't open up very well and you just have a Gadget in your hand and you're like, okay, I need to get some presence on the board. I need to make something decent, but I don't want to wait for a Goldfish or a Thetcglover. So this allows you to go into Shot Masters, allows you to go into your Gigagan X's, and allows you to basically get those gadgets out of your deck, because 9 gadgets in your deck means you're going to get some bad draws when you don't want them. I have a Mind Control. I feel like level 7s and level 4s are a lot more prevalent this format than they were last one. Obviously level 7s were crazy, but because dragons kept going into their Xyz monsters before you got a chance to take their monsters, Mind Control is now really good this format. You can bait out Buginji Turtle, loads and loads of level 4 monster decks which basically just keep level 4s on the field, so you can go gadgets, you know, Tin Goldfish Gadget, Mind Control their monster, go into Shotmaster and all these crazy things. And obviously, since you're running Fortress, Redox and Gauze, Mind Controlling an Abyss Megalo actually puts in a fucking hell of a lot of work. Avarice, because you go for your monsters so quickly. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and 2 MST. I was running Imperial Iron Walls, but I feel they won't be as effective, and I think they'll go in the side deck against Bujins. But basically it's the staple stuff, you know, you have to run those, you know, pretty much. I mean, I just feel like MST allows you to get off chain summoning more. And my only trap card is Ultimate Offering. Obviously you can put in more traps when you go into your side, but generally you only need to have 1. Obviously you can set stuff like you know, your MSTs and your lances and stuff like that, so it's not going to be the only thing that you're going to set in your back row. And when it goes off, it absolutely wrecks, and it allows you to do so much. It's an amazing card. You know, it's a win condition in 1 card basically. I hope it goes to 2 at someday. Now we're going to move quickly onto the extra deck. I haven't got it in any order. I just kind of like have it all in a big pile. So first one is Gemlight Pearl. I was using this last format, but basically it's just a 2600 that gets over 2500s, gets over anything, gets over Evil Swarms, because Evil Swarms still might be a thing. So being able to do this and go into kill a monster basically, and they'll have to go into Bahamut and neg themselves to do it. So yeah. Abyss Dweller, this card is going to put in so much work. When I play on Dev Pro, this card is basically my out for anything Mermails. It's like it makes the playing field level, so that when I play this, they're like, okay, I need to actually take this guy seriously, because oh yeah, I can beat gadgets any day of the week, but once they start bringing out Abyss Dweller at 2200, it starts to be a problem for my deck, kind of thing. 1 Crimson Blader. I kept this in because I feel like Mermails are still going to be a problem. Chaos Dragons could still be an issue. You know, I guess like Light Swarm could appear, stuff like that. So getting this out without you having to commit much to the field and resources and stuff like that, you know, just basically use a Veiler and a Fortress or a Veiler and a Redox. It's very easy to make it. But to be honest, if back row becomes more heavy, I might change this for Fort Blue Archfiend instead. Something like that. Or even a Starless Dragon. And Trishula. I need to make a way so that my deck can make this card more often, because I have to use Veiler and 2 gadgets or 2 level 4s to make this. There is no real way I can do it otherwise. So I need to find a way to make Trish more viable. But I have it in here simply because I can make it, and when I do make it, it generally does put in a hell of a lot of work. It's worth thinking about. For Photon Papilla Imperative, I might take this out. This is probably my first thing to take out once I get Gaga Cowboy, but I don't have it until, because I thought I might as well just get one from the tin. Photon Papilla Imperative puts in a lot of work this format, but I feel like next format it might not be as effective, because basically it's relying on your opponent going defensive and setting, so it's not really that effective. But it's still worth having it anyway, because it sort of, you know, pushes for game kind of thing. And where's my other one? King of the Feral Imps and Gigant X. I'm going to put those two together because they're very similar, both same attack. This allows you to get over Catasta, which is now going to appear a lot more because of Mermails going into it first turn, or going in with Diva and stuff like that. Yeah, this card is great. These are both great. Obviously Gigant X puts in a lot more work, but they're both really fantastic. You need to get both one of each so that you can search the Tactical card game for when you have a chain summoning in your hand. So these both allow you to do a lot of things. It's basically the core of your deck, you know, it's what keeps your hand up. So we're going to have a Shockmaster, which basically if you can make this, then you practically win if you know what you're playing against. You know, monster effects against Mermails, monster effects or spell effects against Boojins, monster effects against Fire Fist, so many different things. Make sure you always keep this card in mind, thinking, can I make Shockmaster now without going neg too much? Either Swarm or Boris, this card gets over everything, gets over their Trishula, gets over so many things. So the fact that it's 2750 really does put in a lot of work. And the fact that you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand, so when you're in late game, it's an amazing card to pull off. And lastly is number 91 Thunder Spark Dragon. This is in here mainly because Boojins, if you try to Violon de Sigma, because that was what was in here before this, then if you try and target their monster, it doesn't really do anything because they're going to Boojinji Turtle, then they're going to Forbidden Lance you. So if you just summon this and then you blow up their field, because if you keep their Yamatos in the graveyard, then it puts in a lot more work. And if Mermails go crazy and then they try to OTK you and then they don't because you have Gauze, then this card comes out next turn and then you blow up the whole field and then they basically whittled themselves down to nothing. So it does put in a lot of work, and I was kind of regretting why I took it out in the first place. Daigusto Emerald. This card is in here because it's amazing in the sense that it's a bit like Gigant X and King of the Feral Imps, except it's more generic draw power. It's like Avarice, obviously, except you can reborn Gemlight Pearl with it. Gemlight Pearl is a target for its second effect. So if you want to OTK, or not OTK, but like basically push for game, then you can with just two level 4s. And also allows you to shuffle cards back in when you open up with a really bad gadget hand. So it's really good like that. I put Utopia back in because I feel like 2500 is now a really good number to be at, just like Fortress. And it negates attack, so it stops stuff like Boojins from going crazy. Maestro gets over Evil Swarm stuff, and it also means that you can crash against Boojin Yamato. They can Forbidden Lance you and basically neg themselves doing it, so yeah. And lastly is number 74 Master Blades. Once I get a Dracosac, I will find space for Dracosac to go in, probably take out Papillo Imperative. But number 74 is amazing right now because there's so many cards that target. You can even target it with your own Forbidden Lance when they try to go crazy, so that you can actually kill their card. It's very easy to make now that there's Gauze at 2 and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Obviously there's a Gauze token as well because we're going to be doing that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it's a decent deck right now. I've been practicing, trying to like fine-tuning it as much as I can. There's still a lot of things to go, like there's still a Direwolf missing, but because everyone's jumping on the bandwagon for Fire Fist and Boojins, Direwolf is a bit too expensive for me, but I know it's a suggestion out there. I've been trying to get one for a while now. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Until next time guys, the Thetcglover is out.